Well, happy Friday, traders. Hope you had a good one this week. And today we had a very aggressive rebound. Let's talk about the action. So, yesterday I mentioned through our sell off that we were trying to trap those folks trying to front run CPI, which they did overnight, as you can see. So, we've got our point of control here. And overnight, they just held it until we had PPI, which looks like came in above most forecasts. And as the market opened, it completely just rallied, just balls out. Let's go. It absolutely ripped. And I mean, it was some of the biggest volume flows from a gamma exposure and call volume that I've seen in a long time. And one of the reasons is look, we had this steep sell off here, trapped. Whoever tried to sell off here, there was a very large market on close order, mostly sells. So once this started going in this direction, it would appear that these folks had to cover, and it really accelerated right until the London close, where we had a small little sell off right into the London close. They're just taking off their profits or just closing out shop for the week. And then it completely resumed again. All right. So that was the action today, and maybe explains a little bit of some of the things I was talking about yesterday, which was when we look at trading, it's the first question you want to ask yourself is like, who's trapped from the day before, week before, or wherever, right? So that's one way of looking at it. And the other is, hey, look, we've got gamma exposure. This is kind of our guide, right? If it's green and it's really accelerating to a particular strike, we are bullish as long as everything else is in line with our Valkyrie system here. So yeah, let's kind of look at the action. You can see the white lines plotted here on top. This is the gamma exposure lines. The initial ones were 5620, 5690. So if you can see here, the major positive 5620 or in 5590. I'm sorry if I misspoke there. But that was at 10 a.m. Eastern time. All right, so 9 a.m. Central. And yeah, it's already hitting 20 positive net gamma exposure. That's a pretty decent for that time. But let's just roll the tape and just see how much this gets going. And it is pretty crazy over the next hour or two. Let's see. Let's put it at right around 11:30. It's already at 80 billion. Complete domination here. Again, it is just wild how much of this domination is happening. Like I'm a little bit out of I'm a little bit at a loss of words, just how nuts it was. And you just keep it going. I mean, we got to nearly 100 billion before lunch. Good God, man. Like, you can see it up here. I mean, it's just straight up ripper. There was one tiny spot right here. You may have gotten a tiny pullback to get in. And like I've said before, if you're looking to get in after seeing something like this, you're going to have to really drop down to the lower time frames. Okay, if you get down to like a 2 minute, right? Yeah, I mean, these are the only little places you can get in, and it's just wild. So again, huge consolidation under point of control, and whoever was trying to go short, I mean, if you saw it on social media, there was a whole bunch of people just screaming that this was a death candle and that here comes the huge pullback and blah blah blah, all these doomers. Well, they got taken out to the woodshed, didn't they? So pretty crazy. As we go into the close now, we can see it's just kind of selling off just a little bit, but hey, we're still looking good, still positive on the day. And let's look up on this, on the top screen here. If we see we hit our another calendar year high, so we broke yesterday's high, hit another calendar year high. And what else did we hit? You see this purple line here? I don't know if you can see it, but I'll get in as close as I can. That's the third standard deviation, which I was talking about yesterday. So not only did we hit it on the week, we hit it today. We hit the third standard deviation on the day, which again, I'm going to say it again. Do not start buying when it hits up here. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? If you're going to get in while everyone's still buying and you haven't hit your targets yet. In this case, it would have been 56.20 was the first target. You could buy through there. Then you could tell they started laddering. Obviously, if you look at the bottom left, and they just kept going. I mean, right around here, there are no bears in sight. Look at this. This is crazy. And it hit 56.50, which was the open interest level over time. Got that level, and now we're coming back through. So people are taking profits, trying to get off the train as fast as possible. So there we go. Now we are selling off a little bit now, but that's just, hey, it's the end of the day, end of the week, and it's profit taking. It's just what happens. Okay. And somebody did ask me on YouTube in the comments section if I could just walk through a little bit of my setup here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that real quick. All right. So on the top right here, we have Financial Juice. And this is one of my favorite news providers. They really dig into the headlines. They dig into the important economic events, and then they dig into it and kind of tell you how it went from a forecast and consensus standpoint. And they give you a lot of information on headlines that are really just unbiased. It's just a lot of data and telling you what's behind the data. It's really great. So just keeping an eye on that. As a trader and a day trader, it really helps give me context and know what's coming up for the day and not get blindsided. I also have some X accounts here just to kind of take a look at that. And then I have my dashboards here. Whoops. I have my dashboards here, which show each of the indexes and some commodities. Just get a very easy, it's just a way to look at the markets in a glimpse. So I don't have to pull up a million charts. Like I can look at this, I can tell you whether there's a lot of buying going on, whether it's in a positive trend, negative trend. Is there more volume than yesterday, less volume than yesterday? Where we are at a certain time frame. Is there consolidation? Is there expansion? You can see all that in just a view. And I've got that also for the industries here. And we've also got like a little target list. I also have an automated dashboard. It's called Valkyrie Easy Mode. And this one just tells you, hey, where's the buying happening? See, we've got Lucid up 24%. It catches a lot of big moves that you otherwise maybe wouldn't have seen. So if you're out of ideas or you are tired of trading whatever it is that you trade and you want something new that might be popping up on some radars, this one is it. So really fun to use. And I used to use it all the time just for strictly stock trading. So it's really, really great. All right. So let's move this back to my target lists. All right. And yeah, so I do use on an intraday basis, I use TradingView, and I use the top chart is almost entirely SPX, which is just a cash session for the S&P 500. I like how TradingView has gotten to the point where it's aggregated all the S&P 500 and is able to give you volume levels, which is really great. And it really helps with the plotting from the gamma exposure. Now, the bottom one is for the future side. So I'm trying to line these up and see how each one's reacting and trade off of that. We also have the gamma exposure bot, which is telling me where these flows are going, what targets they might potentially be taking this, especially if there's a lot of confluence on our charts. And super helpful. It just makes things a lot easier. Really helps with having a lot of confidence behind my trades. And on the upper left-hand side, we've got Thinkorswim charts, which are just really small. data points that really just help more with conviction. It can kind of see how the day is progressing. We've got our tick charts, we've got the advanced decline, we've got the VIX, we've got the cumulative put call ratio, and we've got the Dixie over here. So you can kind of see how this is trending, and then you can see the VIX constantly getting crushed. You can see that right here. So yeah, that's kind of the tour, so to speak. If I'm executing. I was executing on Thinkorswim. I moved to NinjaTrader. I'll probably move back. I'm still doing NinjaTrader. If I'm doing futures, I may even use Apex. They're pretty good and it's low risk, obviously, and also interactive brokers. So that's what kind of down here that I use. That's my tour, so to speak. So, any questions? Leave it in the comments. And again, subscribe, set your alerts. I don't always post these at the same time every day, just depending on my schedule. So I'll see you in the next video, which will be on Sunday. Talk to you then.